Hey guys, Mel the Train Tutor here again with another sort of tutorial for you. Now it is Easter, my kids are playing upstairs, so if you hear some screaming and banging, they're just playing as normal. Yeah, we've gotten both into kickboxing, so it's like living with two Katos at the minute. You walk around the corner and they just jump out and ambush you. But anyway, right. So that's where the banging comes from if you hear it. Anyway, let's talk about this tutorial. Okay, you've all seen this before. Okay, or if you haven't, yeah, I'll throw a link up to the video, but it's the example piece I use for doing how to apply flocks, static grass, clump material, and these tall bushes here. And it's what I call a stylized piece. And what I mean by that is it uses the default sort of, the default static grass, the default flock, and although it looks good, it doesn't really look that realistic, yeah, because it's very one coloured, if you know what I mean. All the static grass is one colour, all the flock is one colour, and it looks good, but it doesn't look realistic because realism comes from variation of colours. Okay, if you actually look, if I'm looking at my grass on my front lawn that desperately needs cutting, but there's lots of different shades in there. Okay, and that's what you don't get with this stuff. Now you can replicate it by using various different flocks and different textures, etc., and different colours. But it does become a bit more complicated and you need those. Now I've got those, but I prefer to do my pieces in the bog standard stuff so you can see how easy it is to do. But what happens if you want to tart it up a bit, okay, and make it look more realistic? Well, actually, it's dead easy, okay, and it doesn't require any extra flocks, and more than likely, I can guarantee you've got the materials for it, okay? So the materials you're going to use to make this more realistic, and what we're going to do is we're going to paint this front half of it, okay? Yeah, and then that way, halfway through the tutorial, you should be able to see how much it's changed. But anyway, are you ready for this? Washes. Yeah. Le Devlon Mud, Le Reichsland Fleshshade, and Yoldi Griffon Sepia. So anyway, yeah, Devlon Mud. Okay, now we use these as washes for, doing our models to make them more realistic. But the fact of the matter is you can wash your flock and you can wash your static grass. Now what I've done is I've dampened my brush. And the trick to doing this is, is not to use tons, but to actually get it on your brush, yeah, and I'm going to bring this up here so you can see, yeah, and then scrape off the excess. So you've just got a damp brush. And then what you can do is you can literally come along, yeah, and start brushing it on. Okay, you can't see anything, can you? Nothing at all. Yeah, that's because you won't see it until, actually, it starts to dry and I put more on. Okay, but all I'm literally doing is I'm not blobbing it down like that. I'm not putting it in pools. I'm putting my brush on sideways. Yeah. Oh, a bit too much there, so spread that out. I am literally just dabbing this round. Okay. And that's all there is to this technique. Literally just pick a bit. Oh, way too much, so spread it out. And you can see how, because the texture of the grass, etc., it all starts to change. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply boots of speed, okay, and just ram through this and just do this front half and let it dry. So off we go. And there you have it, guys. Now, simply by using two simple washes of Devlon Mud and Griffin Scepter, i.e. a dark one and a relatively light brown one, okay, I've changed a very stylized piece into something that's far more realistic. Now, you may look at it and go, not sure, and I'm also not sure if the camera's going to do it justice. So what I'm going to do is, just after I've quickly shown you this, I'm going to take it, I'm going to grab my phone out, take some photos of it, and throw them in the video just after I finish doing this little bit of talk. So, if I put it there, you can I can easily see on the footage I'm seeing, okay, but you can easily see how the front half of this, yeah, is far more realistic. It's got those different textures, everything sort of blends into itself. I mean, you start losing where the static grass meets the flock, because on here you can clearly see the patches. On here, everything starts to blend in. Okay, swing it round to the other side, and you can see much the same. Slightly lighter on this side. I went a little bit heavier on this side. Okay, but exactly the same effect. Straight off, you can clearly see where it goes from the default, just standard flock, standard static grass, and then comes into here and starts texturing off, and you're not quite sure. Okay, and these textures will grip as as it dries. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, just to give you a far more clearer picture, is I'm going to nip it off, take some photos, and they're going to come up right now. Do you see what I mean? Far more realistic, isn't it, guys? Far, far, far more realistic. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to do the rest of it. I'm not going to bother with boots of speed because you've seen how I basically do it. So in just a sec, I'll bring back the finished piece. Okay, guys? See you in a sec. So guys, it's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see, it's all done now. All the textures have blended in. It's got a far more sort of like realistic look to it because of it's all different textures. You know, you can't see the clear stylized lines anymore. Okay, and it is really simple to do, and the effect is brilliant. Now, what I'll do in a second is I'll take another couple of pics and throw those up so you can see those. I'll take them with my webcam this time because it seems to be a better shot. But yeah, that is really easily how to make more realistic foliage and terrain using miniature washes. So guys, here's the pictures. Hope you like those guys. Obviously, like if you like this. If you've got any comments, any questions, any tips you want to throw in, put them in the comments, guys. You know, I always answer my comments, yeah, and it's always a great. If you are sort of watching this video, check the comments out because there's always great information in there. Finally, you know, if you like what I'm doing, guys, subscribe and share it with your friends. There's a link coming up here now if you've got annotations, so click that, or if you haven't, you know how to subscribe. Anyway, I've got more stuff to do. I've got dead zone terrain coming, I've got the foam board build coming. There's lots going on. So in the meantime, you have a cracking day, guys. I'm going to crack on with some dead zone. I'll see you soon. All the best. Bye. And that was my daughter saying bye. She's been very good being quiet for this, haven't you? Yeah, she's been very quiet, guys. Say bye. Bye. Ta-ra, guys.